Last Saturday, I found myself standing in the middle of Target frozen. In one hand, I held a candle I didn't need. In the other, a basket full of great deals I hadn't planned to buy. It hit me right then, practicing real frugality isn't about being cheap or living like a monk. It's about making smarter choices, even when it's hard. Today, it's easy to get caught up. With social media and endless sales, we're pushed to spend without thinking. But modern frugality is different from what it used to be. It's not about clipping coupons. It's about picking what truly adds value to your life and letting go of everything else. In this video, I'll share what I actually do to stay frugal in today's world and what I completely avoid to keep my peace and my wallet intact. Frugality isn't what it used to be. When people hear the word frugal, they often think of old stories, like our grandparents saving every penny, growing their own food, or patching up the same pair of jeans for years. Back then, frugality was about surviving hard times. People had no choice because money was tight and options were few. Today, we live in a very different world. We're surrounded by convenience. One-click shopping, same-day delivery, endless ads telling us we need more stuff to be happy. We're not fighting to survive. We're fighting to stay focused in a noisy world. Modern frugality isn't about being cheap. It's about protecting your attention and your money from being pulled in every direction. Being frugal today means building a strong filter, not just for your spending, but for your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. It's a conscious choice, not a forced one. And when you choose it for yourself, it feels powerful, not painful. What I actually do to practice modern frugality. Frugality isn't about saying no to everything. It's about saying a loud, clear yes to what matters and not wasting money on what doesn't. Here are the real ways I practice smart, modern frugality in my everyday life. 1. Value-based budgeting, not traditional budgets. I don't use a strict budget where every dollar is planned. That never worked for me. Instead, I focus on value-based budgeting. I spend freely on things that make me truly happy and cut hard on things that don't. For example, I spend about $150 a month on high-quality coffee beans. Sounds crazy? Maybe. But it's something that brings me real joy every single day. On the other hand, I rarely buy new clothes. I've learned that I don't care much about trends, and I'm happiest wearing my favorite old sneakers. This approach feels freeing, not limiting. I still track my spending using an app like Monarch Money, but I let my values guide my choices, not guilt. 2. The second cart rule. Online shopping is my weakness. To stop impulsive buys, I created a simple rule. I make a second shopping cart. Here's how it works. Every time I feel like buying something online, I add it to a second cart and leave it there for 1 full week. If after 7 days I still really want it and it fits my budget, I buy it. If I forget about it, I clearly didn't need it. It's crazy how much this has saved me. TikTok and Instagram make it easy to feel like you have to buy things right now. The second cart rule gives my brain time to cool off. 3. Cash-only challenges. This year, I joined the Cash Week Challenge trend that's blowing up on TikTok. Here's the idea. You set aside a certain amount of cash for the week, and once it's gone, it's gone. I started giving myself $100 every Monday for all my fun spending, eating out, coffee runs, small treats. No tapping the card, no Venmo, no backup. Real cash only. Using cash made me feel my spending in a way cards never did. Studies show that people spend 30% less when they use cash instead of cards, and honestly, it makes sense. Physically handing over money makes you think twice. 4. Buying future-proof things. Another big mindset shift. I now ask myself, will this still be useful to me 5 years from now? If the answer is yes, I consider buying it. If not, I usually pass. Instead of buying trendy tech gadgets that will be outdated next year, I focus on things that add long-term value. A good backpack for travel, skill courses that upgrade my career, even furniture that's strong enough to last moves, not just cheap stuff that looks good for Instagram. One of my best buys last year, a $400 online course on freelance writing. That investment has already made me back 10 times more in side income, way better than any new phone upgrade. Buying with the future in mind saves money and builds wealth over time. Plus, with the resale economy growing so fast, expected to hit $90 billion by 2027, according to McKinsey, smart purchases can even earn you money later when you sell things you no longer need. What I completely avoid to stay financially sane. Practicing smart frugality isn't just about what you do, it's just as much about what you avoid. Here are big things I stay away from to protect my money and my peace of mind. 1. Fake frugality traps. One of the biggest mistakes I used to make was falling for what I call fake frugality. This is when you buy the cheapest option thinking you're saving money, but it actually costs you more over time. For example, I once bought a pair of $20 shoes because they were such a good deal. 3 months later, they were falling apart and I had to buy another pair. Meanwhile, my friend spent $90 on quality sneakers that lasted her almost 2 years. Now, I focus on cost per use instead of sticker price. I ask, how long will this last? Will I need to replace it soon? Buying better quality, even if it costs more upfront, often saves me hundreds of dollars and frustration in the long run. Smart frugality means thinking long-term, not just looking for the cheapest sticker. 2. Micro-saving apps that overcomplicate things. Saving money should be simple, but some apps make it harder, not easier. You've probably seen those micro-saving apps that round up your purchases and save your spare change. Sounds good, right? At first, I thought so too. But many of these apps charge small monthly fees, like $3 or $5. It doesn't sound like much, but over time, fees can eat away your savings faster than you realize. Plus, it made me feel like I was doing enough just because a few cents were being saved automatically. Now, I keep it simple. I manually transfer money once a week into a high-yield savings account. No fees, no middlemen, no tricks. Apps like Ally Bank, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, or even new ones like SoFi offer great interest rates. Simple beats complicated every time. Saving money should feel empowering, not confusing or sneaky. 3. Subscription overload. Subscriptions are the sneakiest way to lose money without noticing. It's not just Netflix or Spotify anymore. It's cloud storage, hidden app fees, forgotten fitness trials, and even newsletters. At one point, I had 18 active subscriptions. Many were $5 to $15 a month, which didn't feel like much until I added it up. I was wasting over $1,000 a year on things I barely used. Now, every 3 months, I do a subscription audit. I open an Excel sheet, list every subscription, check what I actually used, and cancel anything that's not truly valuable. I also use free tools like Rocket Money or Clio to help spot hidden charges. I've learned that every subscription you forget about is basically a passive leak in your wallet. Patch the leaks, and you'll be surprised how much stronger your finances become. 4. Living in aspirational debt. One of the biggest financial traps I avoid is something I call aspirational debt. Spending money to live a lifestyle that's a few steps ahead of where you actually are. It's easy to fall into. Your friends are flying to Mykonos, upgrading their cars, or throwing huge weddings. You start thinking, maybe I deserve it too. And you do deserve nice things, but not at the cost of your future peace. Last year, I said no to a $5,000 trip because it didn't fit my real financial goals. It was tough seeing photos on Instagram, but instead of credit card debt, I stayed on track with my plan to take a real sabbatical next year, fully paid for. Living within your real means isn't boring, it's brave. It gives you real freedom instead of pretending everything is fine while feeling stressed underneath. Modern frugality, what it feels like day to day. Living with modern frugality feels different from what most people expect. Some days, it's hard, like when friends are upgrading their phones or posting from luxury vacations. I won't lie, I feel a little left out sometimes. But most days, it feels powerful. I know exactly where my money is going. I'm building real freedom, not just collecting stuff. Instead of chasing the next sale or worrying about my credit card bill, I feel calm. For example, while some people are swapping out iPhones every year, I'm planning a 3-month trip to Bali, fully paid for with savings. That trade-off feels worth it to me. Modern frugality is less about saying no and more about saying yes to a bigger, better dream. It's about slowing down, being intentional, and remembering that wealth isn't always what you see. Sometimes it's the peace you feel inside. As I stood at Target that day, I left the candles behind and only bought the batteries and birthday card I needed. It felt good, not because I spent less, but because I chose with purpose. Frugality today is about living smart. It's about choosing what really matters to you and letting go of what doesn't. When you practice modern frugality, you aren't missing out. You're building real freedom. Freedom from debt, freedom from stress, and freedom to live life on your own terms. Spend with heart, not habit. Choose on purpose. Want to learn how real people are building quiet wealth and achieving financial success? Then watch this video next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.